So, so far we have seen about the function in the single variable and multivariable. Single variable means this side domain and Rn also. So whatever we have seen about R2 to R or R3 to R. That means all are real valued function. Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding differentiability in two variables.
Yeah, so that you can discuss in the tutorial class.
Okay, sir.
So far we have seen single variable and two variable. Multi-variable we have seen generally two variable or three variable. We didn't go for like 4 or 5 variable because that is out of your syllabus, but it is similar to whatever we discuss. And these are real valued function because here range is R. So now in multi-variable, like suppose a vector valued function. So this side domain is R and this side is something Rn. N can be 2, n can be 3, and belongs to the natural number. That means function from R to Rn. If function from R to Rn, then this is vector valued function because right hand side is Rn, not a real number. So it is vector valued function and domain is R. So it is single variable vector valued function. If domain is like this, so it is multivariable but vector valued function. So now we'll discuss about the first case. If it is single variable, like the function of R to Rn type. So the first is this sequence we have already seen in the multivariable. So the notation, if I will write something like vector, this one in 2 dimension, like 2 I cap plus 3 j cap. So this is the same notation as 2 comma 3. So this notation we will follow, or this I cap or j cap also notation we may follow. In the book they are following ij notation also and 2 comma 3, that coordinate notation also. So both means that this is a vector in 2 dimension with the x component is 2 and y component is 3. So this we have seen already. In xn is the sequence in Rn, sorry, in Rm, which has m component x1, x2 and xm, and we'll say the sequence is converging to some limit L. That means this each component will converge. The actual definition is that because this is as a vector, so we'll put norm. If it is a number, we'll put mod. So this xn is a vector, this has a m component, so its limit also have the m component. So if norm is less than epsilon for all n bigger than n0, so we have to find this n0 such that this norm of xn minus l is less than epsilon, then we'll say the sequence is convergent. But this definition is actually not required to work in this. So I'm writing here, suppose one function is given from R to R3, suppose it is a vector in 3 dimension. So definitely something, the definition of this is fx equal to, so 3 components sin x, cos x and suppose only x. So instead of considering this original function, if you consider these 3 different functions, f1, f2 and f3, and if you know how to deal with f1, f2, f3, then that means you know how to deal with f, original f. So this f is, in this case it is sin x, f2 is cos x and f3 is x. So these all are f1, f2 are the function from R to R. That means this R3, it is not a proper way to write. I am just writing R3 times. That means R2R one function, then another R2R and another R2R. So you know how to deal in the single variable R2R. So the whole theory of R2R we can apply if function from R to R3. Even if it is multivariable like 2 variable R to Rn, then you can take each component as a multivariable and you can apply all those things whatever we learned so far. So here only you have to just see how to deal to the vector valued
Once again,
function.
sir, once
Yes.
again.
So any vector valued function you can break into the single variable function. If it is R to Rn type, then you can break into the R to R type. suppose here R2, R3, that means it is nothing but the three different function F1, F2, F3 from R to R, and you know how to check everything for R to R. So R to Rn you can break always from R to R. So that's why we discuss this case first. Like first we have seen F R to R. If you know this, that means you can deal this type of. If you know R2 to R multivariable, then definitely you can deal R2 to even Rn also. R2 to Rn means it is n function from R2 to R. Like in this example, it is R to R3, but that is same as the three different function from R to R. So to checking this sequence is convergent by definition, we will not apply definition. What we will do, we will check the individual component. And by component, it's very easy. So if xn, this is m component in Rm, this is the sequence and its limit is L1, L2. So here it is Lm, not n, this is m. Then you just find the limit of each individual component. You will get, suppose xni has the limit li, then you will get the limit. So finding limit in vector valued function is very easy. Just find the limit of each component and then write in the vector form, you will get the limit. Suppose I am giving one vector, our vector valued function f of t. This is t square, t cube and sine t by t. And the question is, find the limit of this function as t tends to 0. Can you find the limit? So limit of this function means you have to find the each component limit. If it is sequence, you have to find the each component. So everything is the component wise here. So like this is the sequence. Yeah. So suppose this is the sequence. So what is the limit of this? Like where this sequence will go? You have to find the component wise. So where 1 by n will go to 0, 1 by n is square is also goes to 0. So limit is 0, 0. What about the second one? Sin n goes to where and minus 1 to the power. So this is divergent. That means the sequence is not convergent. Because sin n is not convergent, even minus 1 to the power n is not convergent. So if one component is not convergent, that means the sequence is not convergent. Now come to the limit part. If RT is a vector valued function, it can be 3 dimension, it can be 4 dimension, even n dimension also, and it is defined in the neighborhood of that point t naught except the point t naught. Then we'll say that L is the limit of this. So here whatever in the notes I put this bold one, like this R is not like normal, I put the bold. That means it is a vector. So this is also vector, this L is also vector, because the vector function has the limit is also vector. So when you will say the limit is L, if for the same definition for every epsilon positive there exists delta, then when this difference RT minus L is less than epsilon, whenever this T minus T naught norm is less than delta. So you have to find the delta such that this will satisfy. And here why it is norm? Because it is vector. RT will take value as a vector. L is also takes value as a vector. So that's why this norm is less than epsilon. So we will not apply this because we know how to check in R to R. So we will apply that one. So that is the result. If RT is a function have k component, and if you want to find the limit of this, then find the limit of individual component. By using this result, you can easily find the limit of any vector or vector valued function from R to Rk. Here it is k component, that means it is k dimensional vector. So finding limit is just component wise. Finding sequence limit is also component wise. Finding function limit is also each component wise. You have to find the limit. So for example, this is the question. You have to find the limit of this function. Like t square at t tending to 0 will give 0. E to the power t at t tending to 0 will give 1, and then this one cos 0 will give, this is cos 1, so it will come minus 2. So I hope it is clear. So sequence limit is component wise, function limit is also component wise. If you know how to find the limit in R to R, that real valued function in the single variable, then these all functions are the single variable function, only the function variable here t. So you can apply directly limit. And the same thing I am writing in the this ijk notation. That means it is t square. This is I, because this is the x component, e to the power t j cap, and this minus k cap in 3 dimensions, because it is 3-dimensional vector. So here I am writing these are unit vector corresponding to the x, y, and z axis. And if you want to find the limit, then apply the limit of this. That means limit of t square, limit of this, and limit of this. Same way. So it will give 0 I cap. This will give 1 j cap. This will give minus 2 k cap. So either you will write in this form, or you will write 0, 1, minus 2. Both are having the same meaning. So once the limit is done, like this is the limit, you know how to find the limit by component wise. What will be the next topic after limit? Continuity. So this is again one example, cos t sin t. So t tending to pi by 4, just apply the component wise and you will get the answer. So finding limit is easy. Continuity definition is same, that R must be defined at that point t naught.
Sir,
Yes.
can you
Yes.
apply? Can we apply all LHospital rule here? Is there any problem if we apply
Yes,
LHospital
here
rule?
because here you can apply for individual, you can apply because it is function of single variable, so you can
Yes,
easily
yes.
apply.
Yes, sir. No, sir. If
Here
there is a
limit,
function, then we have to apply the LHospital rule. Then we have to define first, then component wise. Then we have apply the LHospital rule, and then get answer. That's maybe
yes,
correct. Or,
and this L'Hopital rule you can apply only when if it is some 0 by 0 form or infinity, that
yes,
7
yes.
form only, then only.
That's I'm saying.
So next, the continuity definition, that vector R should be defined at point t naught. Like suppose this function, it is defined for all t actually. The domain is a real number here, and the codomain, that image, is the subset of R3. It is 3-dimensional vector, and the limit must be exist. You know how to find the limit. Component wise you can find the limit, and if it is equal to R, the functional value at t naught, then we will say that that function is continuous. So can you say that this function is continuous, this example 1 and 2? So the limit of this at t equal to 0 is this one. Here limit of this function at t equal to 0 is this one. If this is equal to R at t naught, then we will say that function is continuous. So is both the functions are continuous or not? That is the question. So limit is
Yes,
this one,
sir.
then R at t naught. That means R at 0 will be what?
Yes, sir.
So if you
Both
put
are
0, you
continuous.
will get 0, 1, and minus 2. That means these both functions are continuous. So checking continuity is really easy in vector valued because you know a single variable. So this is the epsilon delta definition of continuity. So I am not just explaining because we will not use this definition. We will use the single variable definition to check even the sequential criteria. If Tn converging to T naught, then Rtn goes to Rt naught. So definitely after continuity, the next topic is the differentiability. When you will say the function is differentiable. So differentiability, checking differentiability is same as to finding this limit. And you know how to find the limit in vector valued function. It is again a component wise. So differentiability is again the component wise. So this both have the same meaning. If this limit exists, then we'll say that R, this vector valued function, is differentiable at point t naught. Or you can check this limit t naught plus h minus R t naught by h. If this limit exists, then we'll say that it is differentiable, and that derivative is nothing but R dash t naught. So suppose function is differentiable, then we can, if it is differentiable in all points of the domain, then we will say that function is differentiable in the domain. So we'll not use that definition. We'll use directly this component wise. Suppose RT has k component, simply differentiate all the component and you will get the derivative of R. For example, this is the function. What is the question is find the derivative of R dash 1. So differentiate here, it will give 2t e to the power t, and thus this differentiation by chain rule you will get cos derivative is minus sign, and this pi t differentiation will come pi, and minus become plus. At point 1, put t equal to 1, you will get the value. So now what will be the next topic after the differentiability? So we have seen sequence, limit, continuity, and differentiability in vector valued function.
Integration.
Maxima and minima.
Yeah, maxima and minima and integration. So that also we will cover very soon. Suppose I am giving one function or some one vector. Like one vector is 1, 2 in 2 dimension. We can draw even picture also. This is 1, this is 2. So this point, this is the vector 1, 2. Another one is something 3, 1. So if suppose function is vector valued, so tell me which one is bigger, like vector 1, 1, 2 or vector 3, 1.
3,
So
Three
which vector is
comma one.
which vector is bigger? Bigger in what sense you are saying 3, 1 is bigger?
The magnitude
distance
wise.
from origins.
Magnitude by.
Okay, if you are saying magnitude, then I am just drawing picture of this is 1, this is 2. So I am putting the picture of 2, 1. So now tell me 1, 2 and 2, 1, which one is bigger? Which one is greater than 1, 2 is greater than 2, 1 or 2, 1 is greater than 1, 2? So for vector valued function, that order property will not hold. Order property is applicable only for real number. Order property says that we can compare the real number, like which one is bigger. So if we choose two real number, it can be, suppose A and B are two real number. So order property says that if A and B are two real number, this is in real number, then either A is greater than B or B is greater than A, or this is equal. So this will hold in only in real number. If you have vector, we cannot compare vector to vector like I cap plus 2j cap or 2i cap plus j cap. Yeah, by magnitude you are able to compare because magnitude are real number. So you can compare which vector have large magnitude. That doesn't mean that vector has the maximum value. So that's why there is a no concept of maximum or minimum or supremum or infimum exist for vector. So for vector, there is no infimum, there is no supremum, there is no maximum, no.
Sir, your voice not listening, sir.
Sir, you're not audible.
I think you are muted. Sir.
You are not audible, sir.
Because of order property not holds in also in the complex. So that's why
Your voice is breaking.
there is
sir.
a no maxima minima here. Because in vector we cannot compare, so maxima we can. So now it's still breaking.
So your voice is not audible and breaking.
Yes, sir, your voice is so much breaking, sir.
Just 1 minute, wait. So now it's fine or still breaking?
Yes, sir, it is fine now.
Okay. So now we'll directly move to the integration because there is no maxima minima in this case. Because we cannot compare the vectors, we cannot even compare the complex number also. So there is no concept of maxima or minima, but we can compare the magnitude. So if we say in the magnitude sense, which one is bigger or which one is smaller, we can say. So in the magnitude sense, both vectors are equal magnitude. Like 3, 1 have bigger or maximum or larger magnitude as compared to 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1, that we can say. But there is no maxima minima, that's why there is no maxima minima here. Now we'll move to the integration. So I'm not defining the integration, what is the proper definition of integration here like Riemann sense. I'm just directly giving the result by using that result. This is not the definition of integration in vector. So if you have vector valued function, just integrate the component wise and then you will get the value of the integration of a vector valued function.
Sir, in the differentiation part, sir, what
Yeah.
is that symbolize? Like in single value, we have tangent. It symbolizes a tangent of the line.
Yeah,
So
that is also
here,
the tangent of the curve. We'll see that one. That is actually tangent. Same thing. So that also I will show, don't worry. So till from sequence to integration for vector valued function is finished. So anyone have any doubt? Like how to find limit, continuity, differentiability, even integration. There is no maximum minima in this case because we cannot
It's just
compare
like
two
the
vectors.
data single variable function. Na?
Yeah, it is just single variable. The only thing is that you have to do the component wise. Like x component, what is the limit? X component, what is the derivative? X component, what is the integration? If you know in the single variable, you can easily do in the vector valued function.
Sir, can
So now,
you apply all the
yes,
properties of single variable function?
yes, definitely. All the property, whatever, because it is nothing but the function from R to R. What we cannot do, we cannot compare those two vectors. So that's why maximum minima is not there.
Say that maximum minima along an x-axis, y-axis, that's may be possible, or that is not under our concept.
Yeah, along the x-axis only you can compare, but there is no like, it is just the scaling the vector. It is not like maxima or minima kind of thing. If you are taking along one direction, if you fix the direction, that means you are scaling the vector. Like magnitude, you are changing only. Vector is not changing. So now we'll move to the next one. So in the vector only. So far we have seen three type of things like single variable, multivariable, the case of R2 to R, multivariable, not a vector, multivariable real valued function. That means the codomain is R or subset of R, or image is subset of R or R. This is vector valued function from R to Rn or Rk, whatever you will call, depending on which dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, even k dimension. So now we'll see something else that is related to the vector calculus. So how it's look like this vector in the geometric sense. Suppose a particle move along a curve in xy plane. So definitely we are in 2 dimension, not in the single variable. This 1D xy plane, and its coordinate is x comma y as a function of time. Suppose time is moving and the particle is moving in the 2D plane, or suppose you are walking in the 2-dimensional plane. Okay, you cannot fly, so definitely 3D will not come, only 2 dimension. At with respect to time, your position will change at that coordinate is given by this function f of t, like this f, and g of t. So this is the location or position of a particle at time t. So definitely these are some function of time. The position of the particle is changing, and this equation x equal to ft and y equal to gt is called parametric equation. So these equations have the name, the parametric equation of a motion of a particle. And this C curve, like whatever path you will trace by changing this location, or you are moving, so your path is called the trajectory of the particle or graph of the these equations. And this variable t is called the parameter of this equation. So any curve or you can represent in the parametric form. So I hope it is clear. Suppose some person is there, he is moving in the 2-dimension plane. So at time, any particular time, its location is x comma y, and that is the function of time. Because once the time will change, the person location may change if he will move, ft and gt. So for example, Suppose person started from the point A comma B or particle, and this is the path traced by the person, something like this, and stop here, some C comma D. So this is one kind of path represented by that particle, and how much time it took from suppose t equal to 0 to suppose t equal to 10 minutes or 1 hour, or here t is the parameter. Once you will change the t, the position of the particle we can trace, and that whatever this picture I draw, that is called the trajectory or the path covered by this particle. So why we are doing that will come to later. So this is nothing but a vector valued function. So how this function, suppose this is something r to r2. So this is time t map to what, x comma y, that means ft comma, this is the function definition. One component is ft, another component is gt. So this is nothing but a vector valued function from r to r2. And here t is called a parameter, like same. So it is nothing but the motion of this particle is nothing but, in the mathematical sense, it is a vector valued function in 2 dimensions, and that domain is some coming from r, that like time, that definitely cannot be negative if it is time. But if you define mathematically, we can define even some parameter as a minus also. Like if it is time, we cannot define as a minus, but if it is not time, we can define t as a function, this element of r, real number. It can be negative also. But if it is time, it can be only positive real number t, and it is mapping to t goes to ft comma gt. Okay, so let us take one example, like x equal to 2 cos t and y equal to 2 sin t, and t from 0 to 2 pi. Like time t equal to 0, it will start, at 2 pi it will finish. So what will be the path of that particle if particle is moving, or the parametric equation of that is given by this. The path traced by the particle in 2D, if this is the one. What? Ellipse.
Circle.
Yeah, so if we remove the parameter, we will try to eliminate the parameter. So we will get x square plus y square equal to 4 cos square t plus 4 sin square t, that is 4. So this will represent a circle of center 0 comma 0 and radius 2. So at t equal to 0, the particle location will be here, because at t equal to 0, this will give 2 comma 0. This x value will come 2 and y value will come 0. So this is the location at t comma 0. Sorry, at t equal to 0, 2 comma 0. At t equal to 2 pi also, this is the location, and particle will move in this anti-clockwise direction. So this is the curved or path or graph traced by this particle. In terms of function, if we say this is from r to, so this function, if you define a function, so I'm just defining a function. If this is function from domain t from 0 to 2 pi, and it is going to r2, and the definition of function is f of t equal to 2 cos t comma 2 sin t. So this is the function, vector valued function corresponding to this parametric equation. So now what is the derivative of this function ft? We know how to find the differentiation in vector value.
Minus 2 sin t comma 2 cos t.
Minus 2 sin t comma 2 cos t. So here derivative is also a one vector valued function, right? So what this derivative will represent here? Like if ft is the vector, then its derivative came this minus 2 cos t and sin t, then what is this derivative?
Tangent of that circle.
Tangent, this is again a circle, again same circle. It
No,
will
sir.
represent, yeah. Yes or no? Because 2 sin t is if it is x and 2 cos t it is y component, then x square plus y square, again you will get the 4.
Sir.
Right? It will represent again the same circle. But the
Sir,
thing
it
is
gives the
that
velocity of particle.
it will give the velocity of the particle definitely. So at time t equal to 0, what will be the f dash? Like f 0, and what is the f dash at 0?
Yes, sir.
At time t equal to 0, because the domain is from 0 to 2 pi. At t equal to 0, what is f0 and what is f dash 0?
Zero is 2 comma 0.
Yeah, f0 is 2 comma 0.
F dash 0 is 0,2.
0,2.
Yeah, so even it is giving the same, but now see the 2 comma 0 is this vector. What is 0 comma 2? 0 comma 2 is this vector. At time t equal to 0, particle is here, so this is showing that the direction is this one. So actually it is represent the tangent at point. This 0 comma 2 is the tangent direction at point t equal to 0. So like in the r to r, you have this derivative is the tangent. Here also it is tangent. At any point you can check the f of t. What is the f of t? For that t, if you take f dash t, it will give the direction about the tangent, like what is the tangent direction it will give. So now the second example, what is the path traced by this? Like x equal to t plus 1 by t and y equal to t minus 1 by t. So how it look like? Can anyone tell? Just do some calculation and tell me. Like try to eliminate t from these two equations. You will get the path for this. So just try to eliminate t from these two equations, and t is greater than 0 in this case.
Hyperbola.
So what is the equation of that hyperbola?
X square minus y square is equal to 4.
X square minus y square is equal to 4. So it will represent a hyperbola. So I think something like this. So now next example. The question is write down the parametric representation of this curve. So like in the previous first example we got circle. In this we got hyperbola. Now the question is that can we get reverse? Like this is the reverse question. The curve is given. What is the parametric representation of this? Like in terms of t, can you tell me what is the value of x and y? Like which
So 1.46
parametric representation will give this one? So
So
x
1.46.
There
equal
could
to
be many
something.
parameters.
Yeah, many parametric. So give me only one.
T square comma 2t.
Yeah, if x equal to t, then y equal to t square. This is one representation. We can take another representation also. Suppose y equal to t, then if you put y equal to t, then x is square equal to t. That means x equal to something square root t if t is positive. You can take x equal to something sin t. Then y will come cos square, sin square t. So these are some possible parametric representation of this same curve. So some question will come there. You have to first define parametric equation, and based on that you have to do your calculation. You will see that later. So can you give me a parametric equation of a line in 2D passing through 2 point in 2 dimension? Then we will see in 3 dimension. Suppose in 2 dimension 2 points are given. I am giving some points. Suppose a comma b is 1 point, another point is c comma d, and I want the parametric representation of this line in terms of parameter t, so that if you t vary, then it will vary from point AB to point CD.
T comma T.
t comma t, and t lies from where to where? Like here t from 0 to 2 pi, then it will represent the circle. T from where to where? So here I will give the example of that. So we can make the convex combination like t times this a comma b and plus 1 minus t times c comma d. And t lies from 0 to 1. If t equal to 0, it will give this point CD. If t equal to 1, it will give the point AB. If t is in between 0 and 1, it is the between, like point between AB to CD. And this the direction is from CD to AB. If you want to change the direction, then instead of AB, put CD. Instead of CD, put AB. Is it clear? So I'm writing here.
So the direction that I didn't understand.
So one point is AB, one is CD. So tell me which direction you want, AB to CD or CD to AB. I will write both. Okay, I'm writing both T AB 1 minus T CD. We can solve this. And here I wrote 1 minus T AB and T times CD. T lies between 0 and 1. T belongs to closed interval 0 and 1. That means this function domain is this, codomain is this one. So if you put here T equal to 0, you
Sir,
will get
how
point
can we
CD.
know about T, sir?
Yeah, T I am giving. You can construct some other example. This is one parametric representation. Like last example we have seen, there are lots of parametric representation is possible. So I am giving one parametric representation, and this is the easiest one and easy to construct. You can give some other also. It's not like that this is the only one. And here in this,
How can
here if
T
you
is
put
the
T
what?
equal,
Slope of the line.
no, T is a parameter, like this 0 to 2 pi. T is a parameter. Can you vary that parameter? The particle will move from this point AB to point CD. T is a parameter, like T is a time there. Once the time from 0 to 1 will move, that particle will move from the point AB to CD or CD to AB. So if we simplify a little bit this, then it will give TA plus 1 minus TC. This is the value of X. This is the parametric equation. This is X. Similarly, we can write Y. That will give TB plus 1 minus T times D. This is Y. If T lies from 0 to 1, this parametric equation will give the line moving from CD to AB. This one will give from AB to CD when you vary from T0 to 1. If T in the half, then it will exactly the midpoint of this line. So T from 0 to 1, this is the parametric representation of a line from point AB to CD or CD to AB in 2 dimensions. So can you give me the point, this parametric representation of a line in 3 dimensions passing through 2 points? So first I will give some points, 3-dimensional point. One is x1, x2 and x3, and another one is y1, y2, y3. So this is 1 point in 3D, and this is 1 point. The question is find the parametric representation of a line passing through, starting from point x1, x2, x3 and going to y1, y2, y3. So the same thing, we'll write 1 minus t times this and plus t times this, and again t lies from 0 to 1. So So when t equal to 0, you will get this x1, x2, x3. When t equal to 1, you will get y1, y2, y3. And you can write in terms of, so the first component x will come 1 minus t x1 plus t times y1. This is x. Similarly, you can write y and you can write z also. So these three will the parametric equations. Like here we have parametric equation only 2x and y. It is in the 3D. We'll get x equal to this 1 minus t x1 plus t y1, y equal to 1 minus t y1 plus, sorry, 1 minus t x2 plus t y2, and z equal to, you will get 1 minus t x3 plus t y3. And where t belongs to 0 to 1, that parametric equation will represent a line passing through point x1 comma x2. Let me starting point is x1, x2, x3, and it will go to the point y1, y2, y3 in 3 dimensions. So now the length of the curve by using this parametric equation. So if C is a curve defined by parametrically by this, like in 2 dimension, x equal to ft, y equal to gt. If it is 3, then one more z equal to something will come, and this x. So this is a correction. It is not x, it is t. This parameter t lies from a to b. And f and g are the continuous function, but not not simultaneously 0. And both cannot be 0. Because if both is 0, then x equal to 0, y equal to 0, only one point. That point is not moving when t vary. Like if both are simultaneously f and g 0, that means x equal to 0, y equal to 0. It doesn't depend on t. That means it is a single point. So that length, once it will move, then only that length will cover. And it is also here assumed that this, once the particle will move, it will not repeat their path. Like it will traverse the path only one when t increases from a to b. That means if it repeat, that repetition will not counted in this formula. Only one times it will move. Then the length of the curve is defined by integration of a to b. This is the derivative of f dash t dt, g dash t whole square, this square root of this, and dt. So what is this f dash t? Here dx by dt. This is another version of the same formula. So f dash means dx by dt whole square. Because if you differentiate x with respect to t, you will get f dash. And here dy by dt whole square, and then dt. So from here this dt will cancel out, and the same formula we can write like this: square root of dx square plus dy square. And this is nothing but the length of the curve. So we'll see one example. So x equal to r cos t, y equal to r sin t. This is the parametric equation of a circle with center 0, 0 and radius r. So without using this formula, can you tell me what will be the length of this? This will represent a circle.
2 pi r.
2 pi r.
2 pi r.
2 pi r.
2 pi r, 2 pi r.
Particle will start from here. This is t equal to 0, and it will come this path. This is the path traversed by the particle. So total length of this curve will be 2 pi r. So now let us do by this example. This formula. It is integration from 0 to 2 pi square root of f dash t. This means this differentiation r cos t. Its derivative with respect to t will give minus r sin t plus then r cos t whole square and then dt. This will give r square, then square root of that will give r. So this will become r integration from 0 to 2 pi dt, and this is nothing but 2 pi r. That means how much particle will move from t 0 to pi is 2 pi r. Or similarly from a to b, how much distance it will cover if it traverse only one times, that is nothing but given by this formula a to b f dash t and then g dash t whole square this square root dt. That will give the length of this curve or the path traversed by the particle. So now the tangent plane, how you will find when you have this, suppose a point is given 3 dimension. Yeah, similar also if it is 3D, that means here like we are writing dx square plus dy square, then one more will come dz square. That means plus dz by dt. That means this z function, if it is h of t, then one more will come. In 3 dimension, if you want to calculate this length of a curve defined parametrically in 3D. And similarly in 4 dimension, even 5 dimension also you can calculate. So now next one is the tangent plane. Suppose point P equal to this x naught, y naught and z naught is given, and the surface is given in 3D fx, y, z equal to c. C is constant here, and that function is differentiable function. That means all partial derivative exist here in this case, because the function is differentiable, because it is a function in multivariable. 3 variable is given x, y, z. Then this gradient of this will represent the normal to this curve. That means the direction of grad f will be the normal to this surface at point P. So how to calculate the grad f? Can anyone tell what is the gradient of f? This symbol. What is the meaning of this?
Partial differential.
The
Yeah,
partial
that-
difference on x
Yeah, this is
y
a partial derivative fx,
into
fy, fz. This at point P. That means at this point. So this one, whatever this grad f is, that is nothing but the direction of the normal at the point this. It will give the direction of the normal. So whatever perpendicular to this will give the tangent. So why it is normal, we will do by chain rule. Suppose we want to differentiate this with respect to t. Even first I will just differentiate. So what is the derivative? It will come df. So by chain rule it will give del f by del x. So I'm just writing here. I will remove this later. Dx by dt, del f by del y, suppose dy by dt, and del f by del z, dz by dt equal to 0. See x, y, z. Suppose this function is given, any function is given here, like suppose x square plus y square plus z square equal to 5 or equal to 1 it is given. This is fx, y, z. This is a one curve sphere. Can we find the parametric representation of this? Like for circle we found x equal to something r cos t or something sin t. Can we find the representation of this? Parametric representation of this. X equal to something, y equal to something, and z equal to something. Okay, I'm just removing. Now can we find? For this circle, what is x and y in parametric sense, or what is the parametric representation of this circle?
R cos theta, and R sin theta.
So r is here 1, so it is cos t and sin t. Then t belongs to 0 to pi, it will represent the circle.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, that x may be a by root over of a square plus b square plus c square root over y may be that b by 1 square plus c square, that may be for 3 dimension.
That also. Yes, that we can. And its derivative I already shown to you. Once you will differentiate, you will get the tangent direction. Right, this dx by dt, dy by dt, that derivative, because component wise we are differentiating, and that will give the tangent direction. And because this right hand side is constant here in this So this will give 0 because derivative. So why this dx by dt? This is the parametric. Any function if you given, so you can write in the parametric form, and this one will came by chain rule. We have seen the chain rule already. And from this we can write at point P also we can write. I'm not just writing the point. That is nothing but this del f by del x, del f by del y, this vector dot product with dx by dt and dz by dt. This is coming 0. This is same as the dot product of these two vector. Like del f by del x I cap plus del y by del y j cap, and this is k cap. This vector dot product with this vector will give this one. And because this dx by dt, dy by dt represents the tangent and dot product is 0, that means what this grid f fx, fy, fz will represent? If two vector has the dot product 0, what does it mean?
They are perpendicular.
They are perpendicular. They are perpendicular. So if this is the tangent, and that means this is perpendicular to the tangent, and perpendicular to the tangent is nothing but the normal. So that's why this grade f will represent the normal to this tangent plane. If you want to find the tangent plane, so it will be normal to that tangent plane, or that is the normal to this. So normal to this surface means if you draw a tangent on that, so it will be perpendicular to that tangent. So this grid f at point P will represent the normal to this tangent plane. So once we have the normal direction of the tangent plane at this point, can we find the equation of the tangent passing through this point x naught comma y naught comma z naught? If we have the normal of that plane,
Yes, sir.
so we can find the tangent plane actually by using the grid f. And this normal line means this grid f is the normal line. I already given the proof why it is normal, because of this dot product is 0. So it is normal. So the equation of the tangent will be this fx at P, x minus x naught, fy at P, y minus y naught, and fz at P, z minus z naught. So this is the equation of the tangent plane in 3D. If it is two dimension, then just this fz will not come, then it will give the in 2-dimensional plane. This is in 3D. And the normal line in the terms of parameter, it will like this passing through this point x naught comma y naught z naught, because direction is fx, fy and fz at point this x naught y naught in this direction. So this is fxp into t, where t is the parameter. It can be any real number. So this is the tangent plane, and this one is the normal line.